Hey, what's up, everybody? It is movie review time. Good face, actually, guys. Now, and I hope you had a good weekend so far. Well, it's a Sunday, but the weekend's technically going to end when it reaches midnight, but you know what I mean. And I am back with this time. It's a movie that I think has been forgotten. I know a lot of people remember this movie and talk about it, but we obviously forget movies like this and The Wrong Turn and whatnot. We always focus on movies that Saw and City's Paranormal Activity, all that stuff. But I want to talk about this movie that is quite a dark horse and probably was one of the best sets of movies I've seen. And this movie is going to be probably similar rated because they're so the same in these type of movies. A lot of the same dialogue and stuff happens, but it's still a great movie, very effective. And how people die in this movie is quite. It's all different, interesting in terms of like how it is and the plot and stuff, which is and that movie which I'm gonna be talking about is Final Destination. And I'm surprised I've never really spoke about this movie because I think I've seen all of them because I remember all the scenes now. When it just came to me now, it's got good it's got like quite an exciting storyline to it. In terms of it kind of like each death scene is a suspense to what builds up, and you see it coming. Like the camera angles are one, you see what's gonna happen. You see how the person's gonna die, but it's still it still hits you right there because the deaths in these movies, the death scenes is kind of like boom, within a click, it happens instantly. So you're kind of okay, Jesus, and it is quite a gory movie. I bear in mind before you watch any of my movie review videos, I might give out some spoilers. So just a little bit of a warning there. So yeah, these sets of movies, it's probably one of the best sets of movies ever. And the gories, especially when people die in it, it's kind of like, oof, it's really strong. Like I've seen Saw, and I've seen movies like that, and it kind of like it's quite gory in terms of like the traps and stuff. But I think Final Destination is quite extreme. And bear in mind, there are movies like this, especially Wrong Turn. The Wrong Turn has probably been forgotten, and we kind of forget that movies like that were effective in terms of like the gore scenes and the bloodiness in it and the violence. It's quite strong. I know I said movies before 2010 look and feel a bit old, but Final Destination still has a modern feel to it in terms of like how the death scenes are and how the death counts is. It's kind of strong. It's kind of like a bit wild in that as such. And I remember these scenes. I think I was like, did I see all of them? But I know the ones. I remember the roller coaster. I think the roller coaster was the best one because it had more intensity to it. When the roller coaster has a malfunction, it derails. It's kind of damn, that's a bit crazy. All of these scenes are crazy. And just that one scene alone, it's what makes this movie great because before the person has the vision of dying, it's kind of like boom, it's crazy, and it's one of the most wild movies you could ever watch. I know I spoke about Saw in the cities and all that, Saw being crazy and being like building up all the tension and it grips you. This kind of grips you when it comes to the scene where um this person has a vision of them dying or whatever. The roller coaster is the best one. I don't know why. Then you have like what the bridge scene, and then you have the plane crash. The plane one was kind of good too. I can't lie about that. And I have seen all of them. I'm trying to remember all the deaths and all that stuff that happens because it is kind of repetitive, but it's good repetition. Um, oh, good lord, what was the other one now? The race track one was kind of good, especially the end part, the race track where three people sit on the table and they start to, they start to be told signs of like what happened that day, or like signs of like deaths, and it's like, oh, okay, oh no, I didn't escape death afterwards. So it's like a really good movie, especially with the Empire. It's like, oh, the person didn't escape death afterwards, so they still get it. So it's one of those movies where the enemy is death itself. And it's quite a clever thing because not a lot of movies do it. You always have like a killer or like zombies or aliens or just like the regular type of like enemies in movies. But the enemy here is something where people are supposed to die anyway. So it's kind of like clever. They just cheated death. Oh, I think there's one more. I've done there's like I mentioned four of them. I did see that there was five. Oh my god, I just saw it as well. I just read about it. It's like, but it's a really good set of movies. I remember it especially the highway one. That's it. The highway, especially that oil truck coming and it just caused like an explosion, and cars just start crashing with it. I mean, there's a pregnant woman in that one, so that's what I remember. And I think her name was Kimberly. I think I bet it was Kimberly. So she parks her car out in front, but she was the one in front. So that's usually how the story would go. It would make more sense. She tells everyone to stop, and people think they're crazy. And I remember the scene of when there's like a scene where these people, someone cheats death, and there's like a car, and somebody just stuck it behind the guy's head. So I remember that part. Or like when the guy's stuck in like a pool hole. What was it, pool hole or something like that? I forgot what it was. And it just sucks at the guy's organs. It's kind of really gory and kind of strong. They're not afraid to release out some gore. And it's very rare that you see movies that have so much gore like that. And I've seen a lot of horror movies. There's a lot of bloodiness there. You can have some bloodiness in horror. It makes more sense. A horror can't be playing like that. It just depends what horror movie you're watching. But this is probably the best set. One of the most, probably the goriest set of movies you could ever watch. The Wrong Turn is gory too. That's way worse. I've also seen Hatchet. I think no, I've seen the first Hatchet. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a very crazy set of movies, and the movies that I've been watching now is kind of like not as intense as this one. This is quite strong. It probably had made people vomit before, and I wouldn't blame them if they vomited, because it's a really strong set of gory movies right there. It's very strong. I think my favorite was a roller coaster. I hate roller coasters, so that's probably why this movie is perfect for me to be a favorite. I don't know why. It just has an odd feeling like that, where it's like, yep, it can happen. I think roller coasters have been like that in real life. So horror movies have got realism to it, where things like that can actually happen to people, but they exaggerate it a little bit. So I think all these movies are actually based on true stories. Every single one of them, even the ones that are exaggerated, they are true. They are telling your story in a way. In a way, when you cheat death, I do believe that most people are reborn, and they're living a similar type of life, and something similar have happened to them death-wise. So I don't want to go off topic, but it's hard for me to explain that part. What I'm trying to say is like we probably have cheated death before, and we had countless amount of times when we could have died and we didn't. We've all had moments like that where we've escaped being hit by a car, we've escaped, being assaulted or attacked or what. We all escape those type of scenarios. And yes, something always comes back to bite us, and we always end up getting into that sort of situation for real where we actually do die. So it's hard to explain. I don't want to go off topic on that. And yeah, I gotta forget the movie ratings. Now I will have to get these set of movies. Now all these movies are the same. I can't lie, they are the same, and it is a gory set of movies. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have to have jump scares to be good, because it's a gory movie. It's not meant to be jump scary. There's a lot of gory scenes, especially I think the one pregnant woman is trapped in an elevator and her head gets stuck, and I can't remember how that happened exactly, but it's kind of messed up. These movies are messed up, and the main character escaped from the start. Has visions or has like signs telling that person, oh, this person's gonna die and whatnot. It's really messed up, especially that gymnastics person, like going to the what's it when you swing over those bars. Yeah, it's messed up. These movies are pretty crazy, and you need to watch them. This is a highly rated movie. There's no way this movie is lower than average. It's way higher than average. Boy, you know it's coming. You do know. I think these people. I don't know if I don't know if I noticed this now. I don't know if this is true, but I think these people are dying in order. I don't know if I just realizing that now, but these people are actually dying in order. I don't know. I think it might be that. I don't know. I've just realized that now, but I haven't watched these movies in years. I can't remember the last time I watched them, but I still remember them. Everything, these things come back to me late on, and I was like, oh, I've forgotten about these set of movies before. So this is the great set of movies. I could give this a 10. I don't think this can be lower than an 8. That's the lowest. The lowest you can give it is an 8. And yeah, people might say, yeah, it's just got deaths. That's just about it. But it's pretty crazy and gory how they happen. It just happens in the blink. Whereas some other movies, when the deaths happen, they just take their time with it, with the gore and bloody. They just go straight into the final destination. It's pretty wild. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them, because I remembered some of the characters too. Man, it's pretty freaky. The roller coaster one's freaky. There's a woman that has a camera and taking pictures, and they give her signs of what happens, and the next person's going to die. So that's probably why the roller coaster one has got more to it. than the other ones. So it's pretty wacky. I'm gonna have to get these certain movies. I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10. And I kind of forgotten about it until now. Um, the next one I'm gonna have to do a review on is The Wrong Turn. But I've got to remember if I watch all the Wrong Turn movies. So there's a lot of horror movies out there that need to be watched. I need to watch Smile. That's another one. The Conjuring I still need to watch. Why haven't I watched that? But I've seen Annabelle and Insidious. It doesn't make any sense for me. I don't understand it. And I gotta say, the best actor I've seen in the whole movie is Patrick Wilson. I think that's his name. He's acted in Insidious and I think The Conjuring. He's the guy that plays a dad, I think anyway. And the old psychic woman that acted in The Midnight Man and Insidious. I think The Conjuring she acted in as well. I can't remember if she acted in anime. I don't think she acted in that one. But she's a great actress in that one because it does suit her role. So if you do enjoy this video, please give it a like, comment below, share if everybody knows, subscribe and hit the bell notification below. I shall see you in my next video.